Welcome back to Coffee Break with the Chamber Chicks. I'm Kayla, and today we're diving into something that makes so much of what we do at the White County Chamber possible, our MORE campaign. If you've ever wondered how to get your business in front of thousands of community members, how to connect with other professionals, or how to support the programs and things that keep our business community strong, this episode is for you. Joining us today is our MORE campaign chair, Josh Barrett, to break down what the MORE campaign is all about and how your business can be a part of it. Grab your favorite cup of coffee and let's get started. Hey everybody, and thanks for joining us on another episode of Coffee Break with the Chamber Chicks. I am Kayla.
And I'm Beth, your favorite Chamber Chicks.
Yep, and we have got our good friend Josh Barrett of Barrett Funeral Home here today. He is the chair of the MORE campaign, so thanks for sitting down with us today.
You're welcome.
We just actually sprung this on him, so...
He literally rolled down the hill and into the office.
Yeah, the decision was made to do this like 15 minutes ago, so let's dive in and see what we've got. So today we're talking about the MORE campaign. So a lot of people may not know what that is, and you've been involved with the MORE campaign every year we've done it.
I have.
So tell us what, kind of from your perspective, what's the MORE campaign and why is it a big deal for our businesses and for our community?
So with the MORE campaign, basically what you're doing is you're going out and you're telling everybody about the different events that are going on with the chamber, and you're saying, okay, these are your opportunities to promote your business by doing this sponsorship or, this different event, be able to get more involved with our community, and I think it's a great thing.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So I'm going back and forth because we've got some different perspectives here. So, Beth, how do you think that the chamber, how does the MORE campaign support the chamber and the mission throughout the year?
I mean, it has been such a game changer for our organization. It got a lot of our big supporters out talking to other businesses. It is the only time we'll ask you to sponsor something. If you've been a chamber member before, you know that throughout the year we'd ask you several times for several different things. This is your one and only shot. We don't come back. We don't offer them again. This is when you need to engage and get those opportunities while you can. From the organization side, it gives us so much freedom. Because we only offer these things once a year, we can execute those events much better and those sponsorships and those alignments. It has created enough bandwidth so that we can look for opportunities in grant funding. We've been able to grant fund the entirety of the Talent Pipeline Management Program, which builds a labor pool for White County, which has impacted every single chamber member business. And without this campaign, we would not have the time or the capacity to do those extra things, and the ability for the chamber to address needs in the community. It really ramped up our game.
The biggest thing for me, for someone that went out and tried to sell these things and do these things, as a business owner, it was able to meet other business owners, meet different people in the community, get more connections with more people in the community. So, that was the reason I did it to begin with when Blake first asked me to do this. And, we met a lot of new people, have made some different friends. It's, having different connections, being able to call on different people, putting faces to names. Mm-hmm. It's been a great thing. I have really enjoyed being able to meet different people and get those connections and experiences.
Yeah. There's a lot of, there's so many benefits to the MORE campaign. Like, I love everyone's perspective of what they appreciate the most. But one thing that I appreciate the most is the MORE campaign is for everybody. So some people think that maybe this is just for the big player businesses in our community. But what opportunities do you think there are for smaller businesses with a lot smaller budgets, or maybe people that just you wouldn't traditionally think of as a big sponsor or something, right?
Well, you know what I'm about to say.
Do it.
You think outside the box, okay? Porta potty sponsors, okay? It's a running joke with the MORE campaign that, Josh, he can sell those porta potty sponsors. You have to have a sense of humor when you sell something like that. We got a local florist to do it in the past, and had some crazy saying. I don't even remember what it was.
Come out smelling like a rose.
Yeah, something along those lines. But that's a small business that's never really done anything for the chamber or been able to get their exposure out there. So it's the little ads that you don't have to have $2,000 to sponsor something. You can have $220,
Right,
and get your business's name out there
and memorable.
And they hadn't forgotten it. And so, as someone that's going out and trying to sell these things, that's what you have to do. You have to, well, what's this business going to do? How can I help this business promote their business? And from, a person who's in a business, you want to help everybody in White County and surrounding counties succeed. So, you want to promote their business the best way you can.
One of my favorite porta potty sponsor stories is, I'm sure I've told you this, but at the Christmas parade one year, we had a real estate agent that sponsored it. It looked like a real estate sign, the way it was designed, and it said for sale. And I had some high school students that were in the parade come up and ask me, hey, where's the bathroom? We really need to go to the bathroom. And I said, hey, it's right over here. There's some porta potties just right down this way. So I drove by on a golf cart probably 15 minutes later, and the girls were just standing outside the porta potty. And I said, what's going on? Is it occupied? And they said, no, we can't use it. And I said, oh, what? No, somebody done went in here and messed it up. And they said, it's for sale. We can't use it. But really, the ad said, don't like the view from here, call me, and it had a for sale sign. But it was so funny because they were like, it's for sale. I said, no, baby, it's not. You can use that.
It's
just an
right?
ad.
Yeah. But those are so memorable. And the first year, I felt like, maybe secretly y'all planned this, but I felt like every Try It Tuesday was how to get Beth and Kayla to do the dirtiest job possible in White
That's
County.
definitely what we did.
And
so
we won't say no.
that was another thing I feel like is the best thing with the MORE campaign is the Try It Tuesdays, because it allows people in the community to really go inside that business, see what's going on. And, we treat it like a dirty jobs, type video.
It was a quest.
And it was a quest for sure to try to get them to do the dirtiest things possible. Still waiting on the porta potty cleanup. Maybe we can make that happen
They're
this
looking
year.
at you, David McAfee.
So this is your plug that if you have a job,
David
that you
McAfee,
think,
let's get this going.
Yeah,
But
if you think it would be fun to see Beth and I come out and do your job, call today. The number is flashing on the screen. Okay.
But in all seriousness, it allows people to see inside the business and be like, well, I didn't really know that's what they did. And then maybe they shop there more or go visit that store more, or whatever the situation might be.
We've done some really unique Try It Tuesdays, and we've tried to always take a different focus than people think we're going to take with them, because a lot of times, for example, we did one with Scooter's Coffee. People probably thought we were just going to try a bunch of coffees and taste test them, but we walked through how things are made and how,
I would starve to death if I had to work at Scooter's. You guys
not
going
barista.
Through Scooter's, right, tip, because that's harder than it looks.
Or with the Refined Table, we walk through how to use different pieces to make a nice table arrangement for Easter. And so we tried to take a different approach with things so that, you get to see a really different side of the business. So Beth, if businesses are trying to decide what they should do, how can they decide what partnerships are the best fit for them?
Absolutely. One of the big misconceptions, I think, is you have to have a lot of time to do events with the chamber. There's a ton of marketing that really costs you absolutely no time. Very inexpensive marketing opportunities, very impactful. So you don't have to have a lot of time, but do think about what sort of brand alignment you need to have. Are there other organizations you want partnership? Is there a certain demographic you want to reach? There's something for everyone in the MORE campaign. I know we say that. Before the MORE campaign, I would have never laid everything out the way we do now. And I think it is surprising how much the chamber does. it's, I think, shocking for both the volunteers, even for the board members, when they see it all in one place. They're like, wow, we really do a lot of things. So a lot of opportunities, whether you have a little time, a lot of time, a little money, no money, there's opportunity for brand alignment.
And I think our volunteers are really well versed
Oh,
in
yes.
100%.
knowing the different opportunities available, and really, like you said, trying to say, okay, as a business, like I'm meeting with you, I'm talking with you, what's your goal? Like, how, and how can we get you there? So our volunteers are really there to help you, one, better understand your goals, and then two, find opportunities that help you, reach those goals.
And if you don't know a volunteer, that's okay, because we have a little form you can fill out, and we'll, if you'll fill that out, it comes straight to us at the chamber, and we'll share that information with a volunteer, and they can give you a call. So you don't even have to know a volunteer. We're about to introduce you to one.
So I know you talked a little bit about Porta Potty sponsors. Do you have any other stories or examples of businesses that you think saw growth or formed some new connections as a result of the More campaign in some capacity?
Oh, that's a tough one there.
Really put him on the spot.
Because there are several different businesses that I know benefited from it. I feel like Jessica Refined Table benefited
did.
a lot from the Trite Tuesdays, because she is just a little shop on the square. A lot of people didn't know exactly what's in there. It doesn't really say in the name what it is. But once you go in that store, me personally, my mom goes and spends
I have seen your mom in that store
Yes,
the
I
last
have 3
week.
times at the
a
Christmas
lot of
market.
money in that store, and so does my wife. But it's, once you know what's there, like I got some pumpkins last year. They're metal pumpkins that are just awesome. Okay, and I bought them for a decoration for our house. And if you don't know that's there, how are you going to go shop there? But it's these little shops on the square, that I feel like are going to benefit a lot from
They did.
that.
Absolutely. And I think the Amons benefited a lot from the More
Yeah,
campaign.
their business
Lee
is
works
very hard
Yeah.
to explain.
And their business with Amon's Grave Restoration is very difficult to explain. And so
Yeah.
the Trite Tuesday and the fact that she was a volunteer and she was constantly going out and meeting new people, I think both of those things serve to help the Amon's
And
business.
I can explain that very well. So if you have a marker that is tarnished, a bronze marker that's tarnished, or you have a granite marker that's tarnished, and what I mean by tarnished is it's faded or it's got black stuff on it, they're able to go in there with a chemical solution and clean that and make it look brand new. And it's really amazing. With our cemetery up on the Helen Highway, we have several older markers in there that people have had refinished or different things, and they really do very, very good work.
But a lot of
Great
people
work.
would have never,
No.
thought about that
No.
until, see the Try It Tuesday and be like, oh, now I understand what is happening.
That's
To be
correct.
fair, when we did that Trite Tuesday and Chris talked about their heart for grieving people, I mean, that was
Yeah.
the impact for me.
Yep.
The reason why they do this. So
I think one thing that and this is just, I couldn't even name a business because there's like
So
over
many.
60. But I think to me, one of the biggest things that I've seen people take advantage of during the More campaign and then really like leverage that is the block party, the business block party, because there's so many different opportunities. Like you said, if you don't have time, there's opportunities that are solely a marketing component, but there's opportunities that are also be there and meet with people and and that's been just so cool to see that event grow drastically since its inception, but we probably had maybe 40 businesses that first year, and now this year we had over
we're
60
out of room.
and I was like, where else can I put people, because
Yeah.
people want to be a part, and I love that wouldn't have grown the way it did without the More campaign.
no, I don't think it would have. And you're right about the growth of that. And it is the most, our theme this year is Better Together. That is such a good example of the Better Together, because our citizens come out and come to the block party sometimes just to get to know each other. And we have, White County is growing and we have new residents here, and it's a great opportunity for people to get to know their neighbors. And perfect opportunity.
Well, Beth, just to wrap this up, is if somebody, if there's a business owner, manager, leader, anything listening today that's interested but doesn't know where to start with the MORE campaign, how they could take advantage of some of these opportunities? How can they take advantage?
Absolutely. Well, we have lots of volunteers, 40 plus volunteers out in the community starting on Wednesday. So somebody will be in contact with you. If you don't know a volunteer, that's fine. You can visit our website at whitecountychamber.org, click the MORE campaign tab. There's a video from Josh about what the MORE campaign means. There's a link to our website, our MORE website, and there is a form that you can fill out so that we'll reach out. Or just call the office. I mean, you can just call the chamber office and we will get a volunteer on the phone or to your business to talk to you.
And I want to be clear, we have a North Hall team this year. We have Habersham County team where we're going to be focusing on,
Not just
surrounding counties. This is not just White County,
Because we're a regional community,
We
really.
are. We're a regional community, and I want to be very clear with that. And I'm really excited to see what, those teams are going to be able to do this year.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that Claremont team's about to burn it up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Best
Well-
Sawyer, get to work.
And it's true. I mean, we're a small community. You can't do everything within our geographical boundaries. The world doesn't end at the White County line. And we're in close partnership with, Dahlonega and Claremont and Lula and Merville and
Habersham,
Cornelia and
everything's
Clarksville.
very interconnected.
Yeah. We're all neighbors. So
Yeah.
if you do business in White County or want to do business in White County, this is your chance.
Well, it's not just that. They're able to, with the Trite Tuesdays or with whatever it might be, you're able to show your business no matter where you're at and be able to, showcase that.
Absolutely. And our things that are bigger than just White County, our podcast reaches far more than just White County. Our social media content reaches far more than just White County.
Or for that matter, our Christmas live stream
The
reaches.
Christmas parade goes all over the world.
Last year
do you
there
remember
was-
how many people viewed the live stream? Over 100,000 people.
Well, it's in the totality of all the Christmas in the Mountains social media was over 100,000 reach, but
There are not
parade-
100,000 people in White County.
The parade live stream saw at least 15,000 people live streamed it within the week of it, whether they're watching it that moment
and
or
the sheer
watching
number
it.
of people who come
Yeah.
to the Christmas parade.
So,
So we have
I mean-
15,000 people in downtown
Our
Cleveland.
social media opportunities are just far reaching.
Yeah, beyond.
But targeted too. Like we can,
Yeah,
we can be both.
The Christmas parade last year,
Huge.
it was really
It's the
big.
biggest it's ever been.
To the point the Funeral Home Hill was slap full of cars.
Sorry about that.
yeah, slap full of cars. Glad we didn't have visitation that night.
Me too.
Yeah, but
Me too.
yeah,
Yeah, and even, come early and stay late because we have a lot of things going on around the Christmas parade. So between the market and some new fun stuff this year. So we're excited about that.
Well, Josh, thanks so much for
Yeah.
just zipping down the hill really quick and taking the time
If you
to
know,
talk
you
with
know.
us. Like Beth said, if you're interested in an opportunity in the MORE campaign, make sure to visit whitecountychamber.org/more or call our office for more information. Thanks for joining us on this episode of Coffee Break with the Chamber Chicks.
See you, love you, bye.